Coming up right now, wow, a surgeon decides to give himself a vasectomy, all as a gift to his wife.
Also coming up, haunted by tragedy, the unsolved crime that has stopped home buyers cold.
A little bit later on, Chicago's oldest superfan, Sister Jean, gets the royal snub by the players.
So not right. Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
When I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, and this, kids, is Daily Flash. Yeah. We got Sweet Baby James out in the crowd there. We also have Matt Doolittle to my right, Matty Hayes.
We were just talking about this community in Florida called the Villages, and how it's just expanding. Now, it's a 55-plus community, and they're building schools out there?
So what they've just started, it's always been a 55 a year. I just got eligible to move out.
You did. Congratulations.
No, but they have, what they're doing now, the section that has for kids and for families, and it's actually pretty brilliant, is that we're seeing more and more of a generation where the parents are moving back in with the kids.
Yeah.
And so now they have where the kids can go to school, but then there's also so much to do with the retirees that, they can have an enjoyable time.
Did you know their favorite fruit, right?
The pineapple?
Upside down pineapple.
Yeah.
And you can start your own loofah leaf.
There you go. Oh, wow. Yeah.
All right, so my in-laws live over there. I have not seen either one of those anytime I've
You're not going to the right part.
Well, that's probably good. It ain't going to be at the family party.
Stay innocent. Stay innocent.
Google The Villages if you want. And there's actually a documentary out about the Villages, this retirement community. It's incredible.
Is there an X-rated portion of the Villages?
No, but let me tell you, if you like live music, they have all these different city squares that plays. Like I go up there, I go, am I old? I know every one of these songs. These are all 80s songs.
At 4 o'clock every day, they all roll up in their golf carts, juggo, whatever,
They
in their
got some
cup.
serious
and have a
golf
good time.
carts.
You know the Villages, the best thing, they have a pre-roll before the movies you see out there about not DUIing in your golf cart. Yes.
Serious?
Yes.
But again, you're driving like 4 or 5 blocks to the movie theater.
And then you're going to have autonomous golf carts soon enough, so you won't even have to worry about
That's
it.
a good point.
Take me home.
All right, you guys, travel trends. We've got some new lingo when it comes to travel trends. You ready for this? Gate lice.
Gate lice?
Gate lice.
There's something really called gate lice? Do they
Gate
go through
lice
your hair?
refers to passengers who cut lines in the hope of boarding flights early. Gate lice.
I like that. And they all have the same look. They're like...
Yeah.
And you see them going, you need to go back there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because mine says 5 and you're at 2 right now. Yeah, I can see how you got mixed up.
Yeah. Group boarding, isn't it fun? Mattress runs. Not what you...
No, okay.
Way
You
up.
can do that in the sky.
Is that at the Villages too?
Now, hey.
That's when you have bad pork the night before. What is mattress runs?
Mattress runs, and it has people booking hotel rooms in order to earn free night stays.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun.
Just so you want to get the credit for the room. Okay.
You reserve the rooms, and you might not stay there, but you're racking up rewards,
Got it.
so you can do that. Flying naked.
Hooked? No, again.
It just keeps going and giving.
It's a trend in which passengers fly without checked or carry-on luggage, bringing only essentials like your phone and a charger.
So you're a psychopath.
I've done that a couple of times. Yeah. Well, no, I've done it a couple of times where you're like, I'm just going up here and I'm for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And
You
it
get
is
away with a backpack.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
It is so weird.
Yeah, very strange. All right, got a couple more for you. Seat squatters.
That's probably like a Southwest Airlines kind of thing where you don't pick your seat or
No, it's where you're sitting in one seat, right? And then you decide you don't like that seat, so halfway through the flight, you're going to go and sit in somebody else's row.
Okay, I'm a seat squatter. Then.
Or you'll try and get into first class and sit.
Don't do that.
In that area.
I always wait right when they shut the door. You can move. So I always wait when they're shutting the door. Like if I'm a
It's
middle
supposed to be
seat.
when you're in the air, though.
Well,
You're supposed to stay in your seat till they take off.
So breaking the rules
Well,
already.
yeah, I know. And once they shut the door, because then they go, well, you got to turn off your cell phone and all this other crap. And then I go, well, nobody's going to be able to come on to move around, so try to stop me.
But have you ever been kind of like you've got the whole row to yourself, and then somebody gets up after the flight, takes off, and sits right next to
Mitch
you?
English.
That would be me.
That would be you.
They'd be like, who's this person?
I got one more for you. Sleep divorce.
2 different beds?
Yeah, two
Okay.
different beds.
I can buy
But
that.
when you're on vacation. So it's a way for you to either get some quality sleep separately or maybe rekindle your romance.
We tried that with my dad as a kid on
Yeah.
vacation, but he snorts so loud through the wall, it didn't even matter.
Oh, wait, you got him a whole different room?
We got him a whole different room because he snored so bad. This poor CPAPs. This is before CPAPs were a thing, and we could still hear him through the wall.
I believe it.
And we got a phone call about somebody else complaining about him. So
You'll have a better chance of getting a room rather with 2 queens than you would. No, there's no joke. Because there's more rooms with 2. At least if you're getting your room off of Craigslist.
The back page.
You know what? Neither one of them call me anymore. That's what I'm so aggravated.
they can't find the ice machine.
I'm just, you'll have a better chance of getting 2 beds, sorry, than you will 1 king, and we'll move forward. How about that? Just in case you thought of stitching yourself up was really hard, a plastic surgeon in Taiwan gave himself a vasectomy.
It just keeps getting worse.
Doesn't it? The father of, he already had 3, decided to perform the self-snip as a gift to his wife. The unconventional video tutorial shows a surgeon in his chair performing on the operation on himself as he casually talks viewers through the process.
Okay.
While vasectomies typically last about 10 to 30 minutes, Dr. Chen says it took him twice as long. Doing one of those. Dr. Chen, he said he felt fine during the morning, the following morning, despite a little bit of discomfort. And for anyone thinking about trying it at home,
oh no.
Well, just get married, and you won't be needing that. The DIY procedure was overseen by a urologist who would have taken over if anything went wrong. God bless him. You don't feel much. It is, when it comes down to, we should talk about this on the show one time, is that women getting hysterectomies and men getting vasectomy. Men it is a 15 to 20 minute procedure. Just listen to what they say. I have a great story to tell you about it, but I can't because it's television. And they need to tell you what you're supposed to shave. Okay, I was just saying.
For the vasectomy.
Get that image. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because they didn't tell.
They didn't tell
I got
you?
one of these. Oh. You shaved the wrong.
Wrong side.
And then as she's bringing out the sheet, she's one of these. There's a hole right in the middle. And and I was like, all right.
Oh.
That's all I can tell you about it because I don't want to get in trouble with Cheryl down into HR anymore.
I do like the yellow subtitles that come up in the language because I'm thinking, is he cussing at that
on
point?
right here like this.
I can only imagine.
Look at him.
It's gotta be a weird. It's gotta be a weird angle doing it to yourself too. Like you gotta,
That must have been the urologist.
It looked like Mr. Bean.
It did look like Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Which is what he cut off. Believe it or
Lord,
Oh my God, we're in trouble.
Goodness.
All right, I'll shut
well,
up.
it's been fun working with you.
Thank you. I had a good time.
It's been great. I think our viewers want to thank your viewers for
Appreciate
showing
it.
our show love.
MitchEnglish.com if you need to find me jobs.
All right. The infamous Colorado home where 6-year-old John Benet was found murdered remains unsellable nearly 3 decades after her death.
I can fix brakes if you need me to.
Thank you. The property was recently listed in 2023 for nearly $7 million. The home was recently taken off the market when the new Netflix documentary debuted. The Grand Tudor-style estate has undergone significant renovations over the years, but the house's connection to the famous unsolved murder continues to overshadow its curb appeal. John Benet was discovered bound and strangled in the basement of the family home on December 26, 1996. It's a cold case mystery that continues to fascinate true crime fanatics to this day. And it is shocking to me that they have not found the person who did this.
They did find, though, replacement basement windows, which is good.
That is good.
That's actually a good thing. No, and how could you move into that house? You know what I'm saying?
know.
And if you remember, the house was like added on and added on. It's such
Yes.
a weird setup. People were saying it was such an
It's a weird labyrinth. When you watch the
Labyrinth,
Netflix
yeah.
documentary,
Yes.
they really get into it.
because they make a 3D model of the house, and you're like, wow, that's so weird feeling.
And
like it is.
then to be in that basement area was also like a whole different
To
set
get
of
down there,
rooms.
yeah.
And
I would
it's
think
very
they would just
strange.
bulldoze it.
I
Like
agree.
OJ's house was bulldozed.
Yeah.
I mean, they got rid of that in Brentwood.
I'm surprised they
Like,
haven't.
Like they just get rid of it. Just be like, we're done with this.
And there's people that come by and want to just take a picture.
Yeah.
And so you imagine they have to deal with that. So, $6 million is a lot. And we were looking on there, $40,000 a month for a mortgage.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
If you get it financed.
If you get a $7 million house.
Well, there's a tour in Los Angeles that takes you to all the places where people were murdered, or the last night they were, what they did before.
That.
And it's huge. It's wildly popular.
I think I've been to. Yes, you know what? I ate at the restaurant. You told me
El
about
Coyote.
it. Yes,
Sharon Tate's
last
meal.
And you're the one because I mentioned I went there.
Yeah.
And you go, "Oh, it's for Sharon Tate." And I was like, I don't know if we can go back there now. It's a really cool place though in LA. We have more Flash coming up. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Stick around.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Our next guest is author and comedian Kat Timpf. She's also co-anchor of the #1 late night show Gutfeld. In her new book titled I Used to Like You Until ... She discusses how binary thinking divides us. Please welcome Kat Timpf to Daily Flash. Woo! There she is. Hey, Kat, how are you?
I'm doing great.
It's great to have you here. Kat, I saw Gutfeld last week, and I saw you on when President Trump was on the show with you guys. What was that whole experience like?
I was honestly so nervous about it because, I'm somebody I'm politically independent. I vote with third party, so I'm not for either Kamala or Trump, and I think he pays enough attention to know that. So I was especially nervous about that. Also, it's just really weird to be in the same room as somebody who is literally probably, I would say, the most famous person in the world. I don't know who else would be more famous than he is. But he was very nice, and it was just a fun show and a fun interview. And I got to ask a question about aliens at Area 51. So it was really one of those experiences where the whole time it was happening, it kind of felt surreal to me, and then it was over.
When you asked him the question about the aliens, were you satisfied with his response? What did he tell you?
Of course. I mean, he didn't say no, but I really thought if there's one person who has been the president who might just go ahead and say something, then it would be him, right?
Very true.
So I had to take my shot.
I loved it. Let's talk about the book. Tell us, what is binary thinking? It's a part of the title of the book.
So binary thinking is just the two sides, just one side versus the other, whether it's conservative, liberal, Republican, Democrat. I think right now we live in this time where you hear one thing about a person, and you'll think that tells you everything you need to know about the person, whether it's how they voted, where they work. It can be a whole list of, and that just really isn't the case. I mean, issues are often complex and nuanced, and people always are. So I definitely live that by being someone who's independent politically, but then I work at Fox News. Sometimes viewers will be upset with me for having views on things that are not conservative, but then people on the other side will get mad at me because I work here in the first place. And it's just, I'm a dynamic person, and so is everyone out there that I'm talking to. So this book is really a guide for how to connect with people who might have written you off, and really the benefits of doing that, because there's both the media and politicians really can benefit when we're divided. But we have a lot to lose.
Very true. How frustrating is it when you get to a point where, and you've really dissected it well with the binary thinking, but it seems like we can't have civil conversations anymore. We can't put a political sign in the front yard because it may be torn down or our neighbor may never speak to us again. It gets really frustrating. And I feel like 90% of us are okay and agreeable and can have these conversations, but 10% of us who are the loudest, who scream the loudest, who march and chant and destroy things are the people that have the deciding word.
Yeah, and they make a lot of other people afraid. So that's why I felt the need to write this book, even though it's definitely a huge risk to come out with a book like this at a time like this. When it's an election, things are really heated. People want to hear why their side's the best and the other side's the worst. But we also, like I said, have the most to lose. I think a major tool, and again, this book serves as a guide for how to connect with people who might have written you off, but an overall theme would be vulnerability. I'm very vulnerable in this book. I tell a lot of stories that I've never told before. I share a lot of personal details about myself that I've never shared before. I mean, I get really deep talking about stuff. And I do that in the hopes that other people can do that too. Because if we want people to see each other as human, we have to be able to show that we are human ourselves. And that can be difficult, but it really is going to be a huge part of us getting out of this. And also focusing on the fact that, also I'm on tour right now. I'm a comedian on tour and all over the I mean, I'm going to be in Idaho and Salt Lake City this weekend. Then I'm going to be in Austin, Texas after that. I've been in all these different kinds of places. And as different as people are, I've noticed that a lot of people want the same things. And sometimes what we're arguing about is not that we think something's a problem, but just that we have a different solution to a problem that we both agree on and that affects us. So maybe focusing on what we have in common is really, really going to be a huge.
Yeah, I think that's a terrific point. I know you kicked off your tour in Los Angeles. What's it like going back to LA where you struggled for a time? I think you even said you worked at Boston Market when you were there struggling and lived with a bartender. Yeah. What was it like being on stage there with the success that you have now?
Unbelievable. I mean, it's just been amazing. I mean, yeah, I really struggled in LA. I was supposed to go to journalism school. I got into Columbia Journalism School and then I couldn't afford it. So I stayed in LA learning skills for free through internships, but also working in restaurants, doing stand-up comedy. Apartment. I live with this bartender from my California pizza kitchen job that I was sort of kind of seeing. And to go back there and perform in a sold out theaters absolutely was a remarkable experience beyond my comprehension to even be able to explain it with words. And I'm pretty good with words. But it's been remarkable. And, I think that comedy is also another part in all of this because not everybody likes to be preached at, but everybody likes to come together and laugh. So that's another huge part of it. I'm very grateful for it.
Kat, congratulations on all your incredible success and the book and joining us here on Daily Flash. For more information and to get a copy of Kat's book, I Used to Like You Until, please visit therealkattimp.com. You'll also find all the tour dates for her shows coming up, and I believe she'll be in Florida in October. Well, Kat, thank you so much.
Come on by, Kat. You're going to be through here. All right, I love, we talk about looking for things that we have in common. She loves skulls, and I love skulls. Did you see in behind her? She was a big fan of the Misfits, too, so you got to love that. All right, we talk about Gayle King now, and she thought someone was actually trying to pull a fast one on her when she got the call that she was going to be a Sports Illustrated swimsuit star. The CBS Mornings host said that she was really happy, but a little skeptical about hearing about the offer. King eventually made her debut in this swimsuit 2024 issue wearing several different one pieces. Now, although Oprah's best friend was originally told she was just going to be featured, they later surprised her as one of the magazine's featured cover models. The 69-year-old King said being on the cover wasn't something that she actually dreamed about, but it quickly became one of her highlights of her career. Altogether. That is cool. How about to say something like that? Because Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is such a big deal.
She looks gorgeous.
And she does,
in those pictures.
Is it true? Well, we'll find out.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and welcome to this week's edition of Is It True? And this week's edition may leave a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. Now, what I'm asking about today is that I've heard this for years, so much so that I had to do some digging and find out for myself. Is it true that lemons are a man-made hybrid fruit that doesn't actually occur in nature? Ooh. Many social media users claim that life never gave us lemons, we gave them to ourselves. It's believed that they were created by humans crossbreeding bitter oranges and citrons. Posts claim that since there are only 3 naturally occurring citrus fruits in the world, that lemons wouldn't be there. So of course, lemons and limes are not part of that. And all others are just hybrids of them. So they must have been created by men. So I ask you, is it true that lemons are man-made?
I say no. I say yeah. The man above did this.
I agree.
Floor crew, anybody?
Maybe a woman made it.
Yeah.
Wow. Bitter. Sour.
That is, in fact, false. There is no evidence to support a human-driven hybridization.
We knew it.
I said a big word there. Event. Mostly likely it was a natural hybridization event that took place several thousand years ago, giving rise to the first lemon tree. So guys, when you take a bite out of a lemon, just know it's not man-made.
It's from the ground.
Oh, and you really are.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh my God.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't know either.
Yeah. That's it's true, Mitch.
All right. kicking off a new segment right now. It's called the Random Top 10 Things, and all you have to do is pretty much guess what number one might be, okay? It's pretty easy, all right? And what you're going to do is you have these little boards right here in front of you. You're going to write it down, give you the subject. You write down what you think it is. Don't share it until the very end. And we're going to even check in with, see what Hugo in the control room has to say. You ready? All right, here's this week's Flash 5. What is the craziest things Nicolas Cage has ever bought? From cult classics to blockbusters, his career is legendary, but what about his shopping habits? Very outrageous. Nick Cage doesn't just buy stuff, he goes all out. His spending might have left him broke, but how can you not just love the guy who buys the weirdest, wildest things that money can find? You guys getting something together? You can just pick number one. It's the only thing
that's it? We just have to pick one?
There we go. All right, so as I show the audience the list from 6 to 10, y'all can take that opportunity to write your answer down to find out what the number one thing will be on your board. You'll show it to everyone at the end, and then it's finished. Here we go. We're going to start off with the bottom 5. These are the bottom 5 craziest things Nicolas Cage has ever bought. Number 10 is a pet octopus. We all need that, right?
No, he did not.
He has bought 15 different homes. Of those homes, 2 castles. Okay. He's also bought 4 different yachts because, you know, there's a lot of water in the world, right? And then finally, he bought the Shah of Iran's Lamborghini.
No way.
So he even owns that. Now, that should give you a pretty good idea of some of the wild things, but we're about to hit the Flash 5. Here we go. Number 5. He bought 2 cobra snakes. These deadly, incredibly deadly snakes, incredible albino 2 king snakes, lived in his makeshift zoo that housed a number of exotic and dangerous animals. Don't worry, Nikki also kept an antidote serum just in case. Coming in at number 4, a haunted mansion, and we're not talking about the Disney kind either. Way back in 2017, he bought the infamously haunted New Orleans hotel that previous owner used to torture and kill her slaves.
Oh my.
He said that he bought it because he hoped to write a horror novel there, but he never wrote it. Coming in at number 3, it was another New Orleans purchase, what everybody needs, a tombstone that was shaped like a pyramid. It's 9 feet tall, has the Latin words omni ab uno on it, which means everything from one.
Sounds like you're opening a portal.
Yes, it is. It's really freaky looking, isn't it, Matt? Number 2, and this is a crazy one, a Mongolian dinosaur skull. Now this, by the way, is illegal. He bought it back in 2007 over a bidding war with none other than Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my goodness.
He paid over $250,000 for it. The skull had been stolen from the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. And Nick did the right thing, actually, and actually gave it back to the country of Mongolia back in 2014. So that's interesting. All right, and the craziest thing that Nicolas Cage has ever purchased, shrunken heads, like real shrunken heads of people. He actually keeps them in several of his different homes. No one knows if they're actually illegally imported human remains or not. He'll probably just need an audience wherever he goes altogether. Here's the top 10 different craziest things that Nick Cage has ever bought, including your Flash 5. Now let's find out what you guys picked as number 1. We'll go ladies first. What did you pick?
Well, I chose Castle, Car, or Movie Career. But I ended up Creepy Castle.
Okay, all right. That was on the list. You got that. Very good.
Mine is the dinosaur skull, but also I threw one in there that's not there. Lisa Marie
was on there too.
He did buy her.
I love it. All right, Hugo, what do you have there in the control room? What did you pick down? Castles as well, which came in at the top of number 6, wasn't it?
I think the dino skull would be haunted or cursed or something.
Which is probably why you gave it back.
I freaked out.
Skulls.
Crazy stuff. That's your Flash 5, and we got more good stuff, including the entertainment you need right here on Daily Flash.
That was fun.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hello, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Your source for trending news and entertainment. Yeah, you get it.
All right, Dr. Pepper, if you remember about 6 months ago, they came out. They are now the number 2 soft drink out there.
Seriously?
Yeah, they beat Pepsi out. And I attribute a lot of it, and as well as the industry, people are saying because they try new flavors. And if you look now, there's a myriad, and they're dedicated to their flavors, meaning they're not just throwing them out there for a limited time. They have the vanilla, they have the strawberry and cream, they have vanilla cream, they have all kinds of.
So it's Dr. Pepper with strawberries and cream.
Cream inside.
Okay.
It. Well, other Coke and Pepsi, they go, we're going to try that. And it looks as if now Coca-Cola is about to launch a new beverage that has orange cream in it, basically the nostalgic creamsicle. So it's Coca-Cola with a creamsicle. Now, I love creamsicle altogether. I drink the flavored water with that. I don't know how it tastes with Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Orange Cola. This is about earlier in the year, they came out with Coca-Cola Spiced. And it didn't do very well. So this is kind of replacing.
Sometimes I wonder who's testing these things before they put it out there. Like the same with a lot of the food companies. It's like, who thought that was good?
Yes, that's a good point.
Smart though.
It's extremely
to buy it.
It's something different and something new. And like if you haven't had Dr. Pepper in a while, if they have one person who says, "I'll try it. Oh, I love vanilla cream. I'll try it." That's $2 that they didn't have beforehand.
Well, I got roped into the Coca-Cola coffee, and that was terrific. And it comes in the smaller cans.
We need to get you some more of that stuff.
Really
Do they
good.
sell it at the Costco?
Well, you know what? Costco is switching from Pepsi to Coke.
No!
Okay,
Yes.
like at the
Pizza combo works.
At the food court.
The food court. Okay, but you can still buy Pepsi products in the back.
Yes, you can still. I believe so. I don't know. That's a good question. But for the longest time, they had Coca-Cola at the food court, and then they swapped out to Pepsi because there was a financial feud between the two. Oh. Now that they've got that resolved, they're switching back to Coca-Cola products for their food court.
I'm always amazed when I go in there, now probably more often, but is how many people sit down there and eat in that food court. I mean, they're always eating it. And pizza is real cheap. I can get a large pizza.
They had to start checking everybody's or scanning their cards on the way in because people were coming in for the cheap lunch.
Look, $1.50 hot dog and a Coke. It's been $1.50, and that was the thing with changing to Pepsi is like, well, in order for us to keep our hot dog and a Coke or beverage $1.50, we need a better deal, and Pepsi offered them the better deal. Apparently, Coke has decided, okay, we'll play too. So, I think they should offer both.
Why not, right?
Yeah, they're Costco. Why not?
You have so much variety there. And I guess it's just because, we'll give you this deal if we're the only one.
Yes.
Probably. These backroom deals.
They're
going to pull what Disney does, though. If you walk on Disney property with a Pepsi, they will come over and give you a free Coca-Cola product.
Is that so?
Yes, having worked for the Mouse House, that is a true thing.
Wow.
Doesn't matter if it's full or empty?
It can be almost to the end, and they will come over and say, would you like this ice cold Coca-Cola?
All I need is a little bit of dirt, and I have a portable bathroom everywhere I go, because I'm going to be walking around with a Pepsi bottle. Yeah, I'll take a Coke.
Sister Jean, better known as the 105-year-old super fan of college basketball, was ignored during a recent basketball game. This really infuriates me. Video of Sister Jean shows her sitting in her wheelchair outside the tunnel, waiting for the Loyola men's team to return to the locker room. She offers up a fist bump, but is ignored by several players who didn't seem to even notice her as they left the court. Sister Jean rose to fame in 2018 during the Chicago team's underdog run in the Final Four before losing to Michigan.
Okay.
She was inducted into Loyola Chicago's Athletics Hall of Fame in 2017. She is known as a hardcore superfan. I can't believe that those guys just ignored her.
All right, now number 28 gave him a head fist bump. We can't see the guy's head, so we don't know, and he does wind up hitting. But you had to have seen her sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
Like
but
they're giving that guy a high five.
What number is it? All right, number 4. He might be he looked behind him and now he just saw him. So I wonder.
She's below his waist. I think he's looking up here. She's right there.
But look, she's like right in the middle of their walkway. It seems like they can see
and
that.
And you can't not go to those games and not know who she is.
No, that's indoctrinated.
And the dude with the fro, I think, completely just walked out. All right, anyway. We'll have more Flash when we return. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. It's time to get on the scene with Doreen. This week, Doreen is chatting it up with actor Tim Matheson.
It's my birthday, and I'm sharing my gift with all of you because I sit down with actor and director Tim Matheson. He has a new memoir out, and I can't wait to dig in. Check it out.
Water, please don't do this. Got news for you, pal. They're gonna nail us no matter what we do. So we might as well have a good time. Toga, 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 toga.
I have a lot of musicians on the show who tell me that they get tired of being known for that one hit song. Do you ever feel that way when you're talking about the role of Eric Otter Stratton from Animal House?
You know what? It was my first comedy. I got the chance to work with the best in the business, John Belushi, the best improv actor around. It was such a great script. And it sort of altered the face of comedy in movies. And, between Ivan Reitman, John Landis, and Harold Ramis, who created that movie, it was very fortunate for me to work with them and at that point in time. And it shaped my career for the next 10 years.
Mine's bigger than that.
I beg your pardon?
Did you have any idea at the time that Animal House was going to become the cult classic that it has?
Not really. You always think every movie you're doing is going to be the most brilliant thing ever made.
Yes.
But once I saw the poster for it that Rick Merowitz, who did the cover for my book, I said, I get it. I get how they're selling this and how this is, I think we got a shot here.
You were not the first choice to play Otter. Chevy Chase was.
Oh, yeah. They wanted Chevy. Sean Landis, the director, took him to lunch, and he didn't want Chevy to be in the movie. He loved Chevy, but he did not want a Saturday Night Live sketch. And he thought, with him and Belushi would become that.
Yeah.
So he spent the whole lunch trying to convince Chevy under the pretense that, you really want to do our movie. Because you won't have to work very much. You're not going to be the main star. And so at the end of the lunch, Chevy was going, I think I'm going to do foul play.
So it worked. You know what? If you want to get something, just do a little reverse psychology. It works every time. Happy anniversary, Tim, because Johnny Quest just turned 60 years old.
It was so exciting for me as a kid. I mean, I was 15 and 16 when that started, and it was like taking those adventures myself. I did it for about 3 years, and it sort of was the transition from a kid actor to a teenager. Cartoons were sort of that point in between where I really learned a craft from these tremendous actors, Mel Blanc and Don Messick and Alan Reed and Janet Waldo. And we had so much fun doing those shows. And there was nothing like it on TV.
There is still a huge cult following for Johnny Quest.
I talk to people all the time, that are my age or younger or found it later, and so from every generation, and even younger kids now are being turned on to it by their parents or grandparents and said, you got to watch this show. And because, they're 10, 12, 14 years old, and it speaks to them.
You have found this dream role of Doc Mullins in the Netflix hit series Virgin River.
It was such a treat and a joy because we had done 3 seasons before the first season ever premiered. So it was at the end of the 3rd season that we realized that this was a hit in every country that Netflix was programming in. And it was like #1 show on Netflix all over the world. And it was like, wow.
Watch Tim Matheson on Netflix's Doc Mullins on Virgin River and pick up his new memoir, Damn Glad to Meet You, My 7 Decades in the Hollywood Trenches.
Thank you, Doreen. Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
And if you want to hear more of our great conversation, you can visit right here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Dr. Devika Chopra recently joined forces with Icelandic Provisions. It's one of the fastest growing yogurt brands.
I got to tell you, it's one of my favorites
That's good
too.
stuff.
I love it. And in the latest Bowl Half Full report, she takes a deeper dive into the healthy eating habits of Americans and their optimism state by state. Please welcome Dr. Chopra to Daily Flash.
Hi, doctor.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, let me ask you, how does optimism really affect our mindset as well as our daily habits?
Yeah, well, quite a lot, actually. We know that our optimism and a positive outlook on the day actually deeply impacts our behaviors. And then the vice versa is true. If we engage in healthy habits, it's going to in turn increase our optimism as well.
And what else did you discover from the report?
I was actually really thrilled to find that despite the adversity that we face here in America, that Americans are actually pretty optimistic. Good. They actually has an optimism index score of 6.7 out of 10, which is big.
That is pretty big. And there's ways that we can actually fuel our optimism. Imagine that's what we mentally as well as physically put into our bodies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We found that, health habits like eating a healthy breakfast in the morning, like Icelandic provisions, a bowl of skyr, really engaging in rituals that ground us are a really big part of increasing our optimism.
Very cool. Yeah. And I got to tell you, your day changes, especially when you start your day off on the right foot. That's why they always say it. The rest of your day, you feel really, really good.
Very true. Dr. Chopra, thank you. For more information on boosting your optimism with healthy habits, visit IcelandicProvisions.com. You'll find some great advice and also a chance to win a $1,000 gift card to help fill your grocery cart with nutritious foods.
And I'm going to fill my mouth with some of this good yogurt here. I'm going to get the coffee brew coffee.
I love the lemon. They've got a good lime one too. Oh, this stuff is so good.
Good stuff. Granola with this would be excellent. And today's Financially Speaking, we're talking business. I mean, big business, specifically what it takes to fund and grow your business. Here to talk about it is Amanda Webster. She's the COO of Fund and Grow. Amanda, business owners are out there. What kind of funding is available for them right now? Because, small businesses, even to big businesses, but mainly small businesses are really the heart of America. What's out there for them?
So there's a lot of things, Mitch. It's just a matter of the cost of capital, right? So you have your traditional funding, you have your VC funding, you have, you can use your personal funds, you have business credit, which is my favorite, but it's all about the cost of capital and what can they qualify for. And right now, I think that's the biggest issue is a lot of small businesses just don't qualify for what they call traditional financing in the business world.
All right. And I imagine there are pros and cons to all of those. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. There's always, how can you use it? What can it be, restricted from? What is the interest rate? What's the term? How long is it going to be available? Do I have to reapply? You have to kind of look at every single piece of those terms to see what's going to make sense for your business. But you also want to make sure that you have multiple offers. You shouldn't just rely on one type of funding so you don't run out.
Yes, always options, because when you run out of options, you just grab anything. So that makes sense. Do I need to be the personal guarantee for that type of credit?
A lot of times, yes, especially in the beginning, but don't let that deter you, because that just means that your business hasn't been built up enough to be trusted on its own, right? So just like when you're 18, you had to build your credit score, same thing in business, you got to build trust with the lenders. So you may need a personal guarantee for a lot of funding in the beginning, but that's not forever necessarily.
Do they need to, is there ways that they can work to get to that point, or is it just a matter of keep doing what you're doing and just show a good history of actually paying your bills and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely building in history. I use the rule of 5. So typically to really get that unlocked, it's going to be 5 million in business, 5 years in business, and 5 years of building up the credit and the history within that business to really get to that commercial lending that doesn't have a PG, that's not, non-recourse. And it's a great place to be. I mean, obviously, some people can get there quicker if they just have a really big boom of business and they end up in the tens of millions in revenue. They might be able to get around a little bit quicker, but in the beginning, it's everybody.
That makes sense. And can you reduce or eliminate the need for a personal guarantee?
Absolutely. Once you've done, your time, you can go back to those lenders if you still have those lines open and ask them to remove that. And now the EIN has its own credit, and you can kind of use that just like you would on your personal Social Security.
All right. Asking for a friend, but what if my credit is bad? Can I still actually come to Fund and Grow and actually get some help?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you're not 100% our, client avatar perfectly qualified, we have a lot of resources we can give clients to make sure that they not only know where they are in their credit journey, but where they need to be and how to get there. We may not be able to solve everything, but we can definitely give them the education on what they need to do to get there for sure.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so now, much like when I go out and I buy a car, every time they check my credit, I get a ding or whatever. Before I come to you and you said, hopefully you'll have different options. Is that also a factor? I mean, do you want to just cast a wide net, or do you want to do your research on those sort of things when you know that you have a better chance? Is there a way that we can find out if we have a better chance to get one loan outside of another or anything like that, of that sort?
Oh, yeah. We focused on strategy because you do not want a bunch of hard inquiries sitting on your credit on the personal side ever. We do soft pulls for our clients to be able to look at them, but definitely ask those questions. If you're going anywhere and looking for any type of funding, ask the question, are you going to pull my credit? Is it a hard pull? And be prepared, because sometimes a lender is going to shop you to multiple and you're going to get all these different inquiries and your is going to be negatively impacted, and you actually might get to the point where you don't qualify anymore.
Okay. So basically, this sounds like the gist of it. What you're saying is that, we as a we need to make sure our personal finances are looking good. We have good credit for personally and not necessarily the business, but it'll start there. That's pretty much what you're saying, correct?
Yeah. A lot of lenders leverage the personal are responsible and you're worth the risk, even though it's a brand new business or a lower revenue business. So it's definitely good to be in a healthy position, and also hopefully not double dipping, right? Don't be using your personal, financing to fund your business, because that's going to hurt you on both sides. So definitely having a healthy profile is going to make you win on both sides. So it's an amazing place to be. And that's what we love educating our clients on.
Well, we are proud to announce that Amanda and her team at Fund and Grow will be featured on Daily Flash in the coming weeks. It's time for us to talk business. So get ready. It's the new segment's called Fund and Grow, Financially Speaking, right here on Daily Flash. All right, well, we have one product out there paying homage to those that help with cleanliness in the workplace. You know who you are. Take a look.
October 2nd is National Custodian Day, a celebration of the impactful contributions of the hardworking individuals who maintain the spaces we enjoy.
It's important to recognize the extraordinary efforts of cleaning professionals around the world. To honor these individuals, Rubbermaid Commercial Products launched its third annual Behind the Scenes of Clean campaign, because it's important to thank custodians for the difference they make every single day.
Learn more at rubbermaidcommercial.com/BTSOC.
KSA Entertainment believes in our communities. We value those who have dedicated their lives to enrich our own. KSA Entertainment is proud to introduce our corporate initiative, KSA Cares. KSA Cares shines a light, gives a voice, and lends a helping hand through compelling awareness initiatives. From supporting veterans to environmental awareness, KSA Entertainment is proud to produce content supporting ways to help communities all across America.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. It's Wild Wednesday. This is actually the day where we actually invite you into our lives, and I had a major milestone in my life. My one and only daughter got married, and it was the weirdest thing. There she is, my daughter Zoe. She was a beautiful bride and beautiful, integrated. She's grown up, Jackson, hasn't she?
Wow, she sure has.
You remember when she was a little girl? That's her at the gate. Now, this was a very unusual wedding. It was all outside in Oklahoma, and it was like she wanted it to be kind of like a concert, like a lawn concert kind of thing. So we all sat down with blankets and stuff. And they were down at the bottom of the hill. There's Ethan, my new son-in-law. And there's my best friend Aaron. So we all wore jackets. Now, when I got all these, I forgot it's going to be 100 degrees in Oklahoma. But anyway, there they are. We were kind of up close. And it was what I loved about it is that the ceremony itself took maybe less than 10 minutes.
Oh,
5
fantastic.
to 10 minutes. Right?
Yes.
And I go, that's my girl. Whereas I'm like, I want to do all this stuff. And it was amazing. I'm so glad to have Ethan as my new son-in-law. And the only thing is, so he works in Oklahoma. They have this cannabis dispensaries everywhere, but they have to have a place to have them tested, right? Well, he works at the testing thing. And for some reason, this is on my mind. And he works in quality control, which I'm like, I go, really? He goes, no, that's what I thought. He goes, no, it's not like that at all. We have to put chemicals on stuff. We don't even touch the stuff. And so anyway, that's on my mind. And so I go, all right, I'm going to give, when I gave the fathers of the bride toast, I go, all right, half of my speech is prepared. The other half I'm going to come from my heart. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. So I did the part that was told some stories when she was really little. And so at the other end, I was just welcoming him into our family and so on and so forth. And so I go, all right, so everybody raise your grasses. And I didn't even realize I said it. And I go, I didn't mean it like that. I swear, and he's like, yeah, right. The party favors were not. Anyway, unbelievable wedding. Ethan, we're so glad to have you in our family. It was so great to see all my family out there too.
That's
anyway,
great.
there it is.
Excellent.
That does it for our show, y'all.
Be good, everybody.
See you when we look at you. Bye-bye.